Okay, so some people wanted more of an authentic take of what I'm doing. So here's a blank slate here. Now, if you saw, what I'm going to do is if you just saw the video where the notes were on the screen, that's going to be after the fact. This is the beginning of the song where I haven't done anything yet. And what I want to do, at some point, I would love to do, once I figure out YouTube Live, I may just go ahead and transcribe the whole thing. I really wanted to do that this time, to be honest with you. And just transcribe the whole thing in front of you, but I don't want to look like a hot mess in terms of the technology and not knowing how to share my screen and share the camera, so I gotta figure all that out. But let's see if we can just figure out some of these chords together here. This song kind of has some crazy, I've been listening, the first time I heard this song, I said, man, there's some crazy dissonance in this song. So I want to see if I can figure some of it out and right here in front of you and show you how I do it. Basically, I press a note, then I hit Shift R, and it will play back the note. So as you can see, there it is. If I double click on it, it's there. See? So I mean, it's nothing to it except playing what I hear into the program. But I'm going to drag this back over, and I'm going to try to figure it out with you here, right on here. I don't have my overhead camera because I'm honestly doing this in front of my computer, so I don't really have space to do it like that. But we'll figure this thing out. Okay, so let's figure out what's going on here. I'm starting from the middle. Let's put it. That's an F sus4 there, so I'm going to start from there. Let the drums hit that. Okay, so there's that where I held that note there, right? And get rid of that. I don't know what that is. It's probably a mistake. All right, let's go. Okay, so that part there, I'm gonna go. These are easy because they just sound like minor thirds for the most part. So that's what I'm kind of hearing there. And if I rewind that again, let me just drop this in so we can have some visual stimulation going. Yeah, so and then they go to the dominant chord, which is, so I'm gonna play that with him now. I missed it. I missed it again. Okay, let's get that. All right, so I got that. Da, 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 da. I see I missed. There it is with the background. So da da da. It's not this because this is too close. That note on the bottom is too close to the other one, and it's not a half step drop. So I'm gonna move that. All right. So I think this is it. All right, and then what's happening next here? All right, so those are voicings. Those sound real nice. As you can see, what I've done so far, haven't put in a lot. Okay, haven't put in a lot. I just kind of put in the put in that section there. Let me make sure I'm covering the whole track here. All right, so now we got to get this next section here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen for that melody. In a tough spot, you always go for the melody. So, that's right. Did you hear that in the melody? Yeah. And then the note after that is being covered up because of all that's going on. So I may have to actually end up adding a placement chord. A placement chord is a chord I just place in there by my theory, but not because I necessarily hear it. Yeah. Okay, so on this chord here, they sound like diminished voicing, so I'm gonna just make a guess that they're diminished sevenths. But I'm gonna drop 2, so I'm gonna move this down. So I'm gonna do this. That's what I'm gonna use for that. Where am I at here? All right, so let me play that with them. So I just did 2. This is to lock those in there. So you see where those are there? I just played it with them, and then so on that last one, it sounds diminished, but there's a note in there. There's a color tone that's kind of could be throwing me off a little bit. So instead, it should be this, right? Drop it would be this. So this is a chord that I'm kind of listening for. However, there may be a note within that structure in the third chord that is not within this that I have to listen for. So I have to, once I find the quality, I got to listen for whatever color tones or extensions are not directly in that quality. And let me see. I'm gonna add an E flat in here. I'm gonna add an E flat in there. Not that I'm hearing it, but just to complete the dissonance that I'm hearing. And so that's just me just using more logic in order to complete where I think the dissonance should be. All right, so there's that, and so you can see the E and the E flat in there hugging each other. That will provide some dissonance in there. Solo that out. See that? So you can hear the dissonance in there when I solo that track. And then there's not a chord after that, but I'm going to add one. I'm probably going to add a A major 7 and voice it this way. And let me see if that. Yeah, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this just because I want to. Yeah. Let me see if it goes with the. Let's see if it goes with the track. Yeah, see, because they're obviously doing another chord. They're obviously doing another chord, and the chord is completely masked by that point. So all those people that are saying, "Well, how is he hearing all that?" I'm not hearing anything. I'm making educated guesses and making sure that they fit the structure and the pattern of the song as I see it. All right, let me keep on going. Anyway, let me. Some of you are saying they're not showing up on the screen, so just to be 100% transparent, I need to add external MIDI, the bus driver. Yeah. Let's make a copy so that whatever shows here will also show on chordy. Let me drag this. Hold Alt and Shift. Drag it down. Now I got a copy there. I need to go to Windows, Environment. Make sure I don't have a feedback loop by going to Clicks and Ports. Take out the synth. So I don't have that feedback loop coming in. But I do want to keep coming in my micro air keyboard that I'm playing in right now. I do want to input in the logic for that. So that'll take care of that. So now when I play it, I should be able to see it on the screen now. That's that F sus that I was doing there. And then here's the part we were saying. That's the part I did. And now we have the diminished sevenths. Alright. Now let's keep on going. So same thing before. So that sounds like the same thing before. I should be able to play the same thing in there. Let me just keep on going to make sure. Okay, we'll do that later. All right. Let me play the next part. And all right, so now in this last part here, I just played it with him. There, that's just the and I just doubled up on C's here. And the reason I doubled up on C's is because I don't know what they played yet, but I do know it's a bunch of C's, and I'm going to go in and fill in the context as I hear it now. Let me see what they do. Now, some of you are hearing that da, right? You're hearing that A, and you're going to say, put in an A, put in an A. No, don't put in an A. No, it's not an A. It's a dominant chord. Because the guitar is playing the A. And because the level of the guitar is above the keys, which is in the background, it could make you think he's playing an A, but he's not playing an A. And this is why we have to be very careful when trying to transcribe that we literally separate the parts in our head. So I'm going to add the dominant chord. In fact, let's just delete these. And let me just play the chord. All right, perfect. Because I knew that would only make sense to have that F sus there. All right, so see, hear that? It's just a regular C7. Let the guitar hit the off tone, that A there. Okay, to provide the 13th sound. Okay, but I'm not gonna put that on the keys. All right, we're definitely gonna stop. We're gonna stop after we do this. I'm not gonna stop you without showing you. Let's do this. That part there. Let's write down a melody line here. So. Okay, so those of you who get confused about when you transcribe and trying to figure out these crazy chords, you go step one. Step one, we're gonna go with a melody line. So we're gonna try to find out the top notes. Okay, so and step two, let me just give them to you. Step one, let's find out these notes at the top. Step two, we're going to find out the quality of the chord based on the notes. Step three, we're going to try to check for any color or off tones. Like I did before, what notes are outside the quality of the chord. And then step three, we want to compare, which I always have to do, compare what I played with the track. So step one, find the melody. So that melody, don't get lost, don't get confused. The reason for confusion is when you are trying to do too many things at one time. It's the rule of life, right? So we don't want to find out what the whole chord is. We just care about the melody. Okay, stop. Record it. Now, we're there. We got it. Where is it? I thought I recorded it. There you go. Okay, so there it is. There we go. Now, what's the quality? What I want to focus in on are the let's focus on these red notes here. For now I'm going to lower these just because I want to focus in on what the quality of just these chords are for now. So I'm going to show you these, the ones in red. Okay, so I'm going to listen for those because the other ones aren't really doing much. You can just walk them up. So I'm just going to go probably for the first ones. Okay, so let me just add those in now. All right, now they're there. Now I have to find out this one. And now that we have the melody line, let's go for what quality chord was being played there. We narrowed things down to my four big qualities. You got your major, you got minor, you've got dominant, and minor 7 flat 5. Let's see if we can find one of those within that first red one. So a major would be, it's not that. Let's try minor. Y'all see how structured this is? It's not rocket science here. Check this out. We did major. We need to do minor. That's not what was played. We're gonna do the next one. Dominant. It has to be a dominant ending on a C. So that would make it a D7, which we know that's not the chord. Oops, I missed that. Nope, that's not it. The last one is the what is it? The minor 7? Minor 7 flat 5, which ending on a C would be this. All right, so I have to know. Obviously, I have to know each chord quality that ends on a certain note, and I have to, you know, I'm doing it for the video, but I have to do these in split seconds so that I can actually get these videos out fast. So I do have to know theory in the sense that I have to know what note that ends on a C, what quality that would be, right? So it's neither of those. So I'm gonna go with, now some of you are gonna say, what about diminished? It could be diminished. That is probably the closest sound. Let's listen to it. That sounds really close. Now let's go to our third. Step. Any color or off tones? Yes, because there is a note within that that's not being played in the record. Let's mute what I'm playing because I want to hear the record. Da, da, da. Are you hearing that? Da, da, da. Now, I'm going to sing it. Now, once I say it, what it is, when I play it again, you're going to hear it. Watch this. I want you to listen for that. You hear that? Now, why am I bringing up that point? Because if it's a diminished seventh voicing, which is this, no matter how much I extend these notes down, I'm not going to be hitting a B flat. Okay? I'm not going to be hitting a B flat in a diminished seventh voicing. So that changes the quality. It means it's no longer diminished. I'm going to go with this. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with this voicing here, for that context, because it's got that. But because I'm hearing that B flat there, and I'm hearing it so strong, I want to double up on it. I still have this on the top. The F sharp and the C completes the diminished part of that sound. And let me see the F at the bottom. Yeah. I like that voicing. Let's try it. All right, now. Scoot it over. We can figure that later. Make them all the same. I normally probably wouldn't transcribe it this way in a live, because what I would do is just play the whole chord. But I already had the C up there, and I'm trying to do this for the camera, so. Oh man, there's that chord is even crazier. Let's go to this next one. All right, now, first step one, we're on this one now. I got to find out this one. Step one, get your top note. The top note's an E flat. That's an E flat there. What's the quality? I'm hearing a quality for this one. I'm hearing a polychord. You hear that? So it'll be E flat, C, G, and then D flat, and then maybe a C, G. So but maybe the C. I'm thinking polychord as a F sharp diminished seventh over the C minor, but it could be that one. It could be this instead of over C minor because of the strong presence of the C flat there, a C sharp. Hold on. Yeah. All right, so that's what I'm gonna give for that. Let me test that out with the. One way to test out is to lower the volume of the track, but keep mine at the same volume. All right, and I know some of you are saying, but they chorded this, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focusing on the target chords. And how am I going to end this now? One thing I do, by the way, after I do my comparison, now I'm making the guess only to show you guys what's in my head as I'm figuring out chords, because a lot of you saying, how are you doing it? So this is kind of the nuts and bolts of it. Step 1, find the melody. Step 2, find the quality. Step 3, finding notes that violate that quality. But I don't want to skip step 2 and just go straight to the fancy notes, because I have to know what the intended quality is before I can start changing it and trying to figure out what. You see what I'm saying? That just makes it easier. It makes the transcription process easier. Let me see if I can find out that last chord. Now that's a beautiful, a nice thing they did there, because the reason why this chord is hard to hear is because of the lack of a strong root, because you don't hear the bass guy. You know, you want this to be the ear wants this to be a D major 9. You want it to be that. Problem is the bass isn't holding the D, and then there are other notes in there coloring it. But again, picking the quality first is helpful. But listen to the bass. Listen to what the bass does. See, the chord's root for all practical purposes it's a rootless chord. We don't know what the bass helps to establish what the quality is. Without a bass, without that bass, that strong bass there, then it's kind of hard trying to figure out what the intended chord is. So that's what makes this one difficult, is the lack of the strong root. And now you got 3, and then on top of that, we got 3 instruments. You got the guitar, which is the strongest. Okay, so you got the guitar in there, and he's pretty strong. And then you got the bell going. You have this, I'm gonna call it a synth bell. So you got a synth bell going, and then you got the keys in the background without a strong root. This is the reason why chords can be hard to hear. Not because they're difficult chords per se, but because when your ear has to be trained to look past all of the stuff going on. We got the drum guy giving a lick. You got the guitar guy moving. You got synth bells. You got the lack of a bass with a strong root, and then you got the keys, which are in the background, which you can hardly hear. So it's like whatever I say, y'all just gonna have to accept, because who's gonna argue? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna argue with a chord you can't even hear, right? You know, I know that it should probably be a D major 9, but he's not playing that. And on top of that, I'm hearing the 13th because I'm hearing a B. See, You hear that? Whether you hear it or not, I say it's implied. So that means I'm going to have to go with probably a D 13 sharp 11. You see that? I'm going to go with a D 13 sharp 11, and then I stop there, I fill that chord in, and I remove the root because it wasn't there. Okay, so I mean, and then we got to lower that because we don't want it to be, the keys, they weren't heard anyway. So we want to lower the volume of that. Where's the velocity in that? There we go. We want that to be underneath everything else. As this as well. And it's all part of the transcription, is making sure that in the editing. Anyway, and I'll come in and fill these in, and then when I finish this video, I'm going to put it at the beginning. So I'm doing this video before I do anything so that you guys can see my thought process. How long have I been doing this? I just let the clock go. So I'm not sure how long I've been recording at this point. But just to let you guys see all of this. Let's hear how it sounds from here. And I guess I'll stop here. This was like really impromptu, and they really didn't have a schedule. So I hope you still gained from it. Just to kind of see behind the scenes on kind of what I'm doing, and hopefully it helped.